Hey guys, and welcome back to another Overwatch video. This one will be quite fun and a little bit nostalgic / informative as we take a look at the evolution of Overwatch. You may have seen a video like this, we made two in the past. Both were non-commentary and we're always updating it. This one is completely updated and with commentary to just add a little bit more to the video. I hope you guys do enjoy it. If you do, hit that like button, consider subscribing, and let's get straight into it. So, as a lot of you will know, the game actually started as a game called Titan, and Blizzard was working on this game for a very, very long time. Here's some concept art and sketches about some characters that were going to be within Titan, and you'll see some resembling Overwatch heroes we have now. Kind of like how that other guy looked like Hanzo and one looked like he had a Roadhog hook. But Titan was eventually cancelled and they decided to go on with a new game called Overwatch. There was classes such as Jumper, Juggernaut, Longshot, Mechanic, Spec Ops, Assassin. These were like classes / characters, so they were ideas for their own classes made out of sub-characters, if that makes sense. And there was a lot of them, as you can see here. Mercy was once called Angelica, and a lot of them have their really different names. And something I really do like is how we can see Iris right there, almost in the center, corner from Torbjorn, which was just called Ironclad back then. We just saw her in the not recent, 1 year ago animated short for Ashe, and she was introduced that way, but Blizzard has thought of a character like her since the beginning. They really thought very far ahead, and if there's this many concepts, I wonder how many heroes Overwatch will truly get in its life cycle. But from there, in October of 2013, they begun designing and trying to implement the engine. So Overwatch has its own unique engine for the game, which is actually very rare for any game. Most companies have their own engine, or they not rent out or lease out, but they buy an engine from another company and from there develop their game. But Overwatch had its own engine from top to bottom. Tracer would just fire these really weird squares that were more resemblance of laser beams than anything, and they had a bunch of Reapers just standing around. Actually, I'll just let you listen to Jeff Kaplan for a little.
Widowmaker skin. This is our physics programmer, Aaron Cotto, was getting the Blizzard physics engine working within the Overwatch engine for the first time.
Which perfectly leads me into another point, is that Temple of Anubis was the first idea or map that they started creating. They did the physics, they started porting the engine, and he even talked about a bunch of little details that no one would ever notice, and I agree, I wouldn't notice it, but I appreciate the work, just knowing how walking upstairs had to be completely reworked to feel smooth and not janky. It really is something special, and I give them a lot of credit for what they've done.
Trying to put stuff on the screen and make it work. All right, so you can see early Temple of Anubis. Tracer doesn't have all our textures, but we're getting things like recall in there.
Yeah, the Reaper's T-pose element. We use the Reaper for scale.
Just thought it'd be cool for you guys to hear that, especially seeing how Temple of Anubis was really weird and different. But anyways, on December 2013, they moved from just Tracer into attempting different heroes. This is the very first version of Pharah that you saw, and she even had the reload animation of Tracer. Then they began to actually properly model characters, the first one being Tracer. So Tracer, she was basically the very first character that they wanted to try. That's why she's so iconic, and that's why she's on the box. But moving on to January 7th of 2014, things got a little bit better. They started actually attempting with other bots and players. You can see the animations were way smoother, the dashing was working, everything was getting into place, at least when it came from an engine point of view. Of course, the game was basically nothing still. You can see the health bars and random bars, ammo at the bottom. There was still no actual bullets being shot, but it only took 24 days for it to go from that to this. Basic UI, it still looks very simple how the blink looks. We had like point A, which really looks, it reminded me of some Adobe application, and we had the information at the top. You saw how health packs were. The bare bones were really coming into play, and they were working fast. Here we can see Reaper with untextured guns still just moving around, but the movement looked smooth. The gun shooting was very slow, but looked smooth. The ultimate was beautiful, Beyblade ultimate, but you can see everything was coming together. Pharah, her rockets, her push away. It was really cool. Seeing these was amazing. You can even, if you didn't notice, bottom left, they started adding little avatars for their character. And it's just funny seeing how this old UI used to look, like how they first concepted. But anyways, we didn't really get much from there until the Overwatch cinematic trailer in 2014, which looked like this. Beautiful. Their animation team is mind-blowing. I have to give them amazing amount of props for what they do when it comes to animation. I mean, I know I said mind-blowing, I don't want to use the same word, but is there another word I could really think of? Not really.
There you are.
Don't worry, loves. Cavalry's here.
From there, we didn't get much until May 13th of 2015, in which ZENYATTA gameplay preview showed itself. And as you can see, the UI was in place, the animations were perfect, the ultimate was working, everything looked nice, smooth, and we could say that Overwatch was just about done with its development, as we know, as that is very close to its release. You can see Winston's lightning used to look very different, the bubble used to look different, the effects were way more basic, but still, it was quite a sight to behold. Then Overwatch gameplay trailer number 2 came out November 6th of 2015, and it showed off the map, its beauty, or not just this map, the maps, the beauty, and everything between. We saw Zarya gameplay, again, the shield bubble looking really weird, her electricity looking a little bit dull, the effects weren't quite there yet, but the game was really coming together, and Blizzard was just about to release a game-changing product. They showed off other heroes like Junkrat, transitioned between them in a very, very nice cinematic / gameplay style trailer. They still do it till now, if you ever saw the Sigma trailer, but it never looked as good as this. The way they did the gameplay trailer, the transitions, the editing, the camera shots, and the first time we ever actually saw these characters was super, super amazing, and this brings me a lot of nostalgia. But anyways, the closed beta came out December 10th, 2015. This is when us players finally got a little bit of a glimpse of Overwatch. This is when we got our hands on it. This is when we all really, really got excited. I mean, watching this right now gives me a lot of nostalgia. That's the truth. It's so nostalgic because the game really had something special about it. And it's still an amazing game today, but of course, that new feeling, that new effect, everyone trying these new heroes, feeling these abilities out, exploring the map, see where Genji can wall climb, they're not there anymore because the game's no longer new, but it's amazing. But then Overwatch entered open beta, and then soon after finally got released. Within 2016, we also got Ana, as well as Sombra, which till now was the best teased and most hyped up hero, and we got the introduction of the PTR for all of us to actually test out changes. My personal favorite though is that they added arcade, which till now is the reason I even play Overwatch. I started back then and fell in love with the casual style. But in 2017, particularly November 1st, they decided to start evolving the Overwatch League, trying to get all these, team uniforms on the characters and in real life, and I commend them for all the work they've done. I personally, I'm not a huge fan of the Overwatch League, and I think it's a big reason as to why the game has suffered in certain areas, but I commend all the work they did. In 2017, we also got Doomfist and Orisa. Both characters I actually enjoy. I don't really like what Orisa is doing in the current meta, but anyways, we also got Moira, which is a hero I'm not a big fan of Moira, personally, but that's regardless. Moving into the next thing, we went into ranked gameplay November 15th, and let me explain this one a little. This is when people started to play and get scouted out for professional teams. And something that I haven't really been talking about in this video, but I am showing right now in the background, all those maps you've seen and many more that I'm not showing off, there is 21 maps in the game, almost as much as there is heroes, and I didn't actually kind of talk about when each one was introduced because it would take way too long, but we need to commend Blizzard for adding so many maps. Anyways, from there we went on to the 2018 World Cup Finals. Esports was evolved, and within 2018 we got quite a few surprises, air quotes, surprises. One of the first ones being Brigitte, which brought on the GOATS meta, which was part of all of 2018 almost, which is huge, half of 2018. We then also got Hammond, a character I truly love, and Ash, another character I really, really, really enjoy. So hero-wise, it was my year. They added 2 people I really liked, but regardless, they also added Brigitte, which did influence the GOAT meta, which was half of 2017 and half of 2018, totaling to a full year of change. But change is change, there isn't much we can do about it, so moving on from there, we got the workshop update in 2019, April 24th. But before we get into that, I just want to note they also added Baptiste within 2019, which, Baptiste is Baptiste. But onto the workshop, this is something I was so hyped about when it first came out. I was super, super excited. Until now, I still dabble within it, but unfortunately, the hype for it has went down. It's not as prominent as it was during the first month of its release, which again is unfortunate. I thought it was what's going to save Overwatch, but it didn't. Until now, it's still very fun, and a lot of people still play it. I just thought it would have been more than it actually is, but regardless, we did move on from there and get roll queue in July 18th of 2019 onto the PTR, and roll queue definitely changed Overwatch a ton. Like, a ton. Till now, Overwatch is a completely different game because of the roll queue mechanic, and for the most part, it's been for the better. I personally like roll queue. Again, I have a video just about roll queue and how much it really changed Overwatch. You guys can go check it out. But moving on from there, Sigma's release hit in 2019. It's the only hero I'm showing off like this because it's the latest one. Again, just trying to make everything up to date. And Sigma's been quite the interesting one. Not my favorite hero. Don't really like what he did for the meta. I don't like fighting shields. I don't like shields in general, and I don't like CC. And his kit is just filled with tank and CC. So not a big fan of Sigma personally, but that's just me. Let me know what you guys think about Sigma down below. I'm definitely curious. I like his character and lore though, But anyways, on October 15th, 2019, Overwatch will be released, or is released, for the Nintendo Switch, and it plays and looks a lot better than most people were expecting, which is great. I mean, playing Overwatch on the go, it's such a cool concept, and I know it'll allow a lot more users to actually play the game, which I'm very, very happy for them. But anyways, this is the end of the life cycle. A lot will be announced at BlizzCon. I am 100% sure multiple heroes, maybe multiple maps, even maybe a whole new game or game mode for Overwatch. We have no idea yet, but a lot will be coming. Stay tuned for that. If you guys enjoyed it, consider hitting that like button, maybe subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.